2, 1, start. Okay, this is called live streaming it. I'm looking at what you're looking at. I am seeing a pattern of Fiorella. She likes to give the finger whenever she scratches her face. She's starting to look more and more like Helen Buyinski. They're both from Russia Today. They both pretty much have the same job description. The faces are very similar. Fiorella's hitting a tipping point. Chardula's already done. Buyinski's already done. I'm guessing with the weight loss, it would be more like, I don't know, thinking opiates over there on the left. The other person, I feel like, when you look at all these people, and they obviously all seem to have some type of substance issues going on, it makes you wonder that with the stereotype of the informant, how they get into some kind of trouble, and then to get out of the trouble, they have to become informants. I've already proven that they rigged Echo Park. They were working for police at Echo Park. I've proven that there's some type of substance abuse issue widespread. I've proven that they're all linked together without any of us wanting to know how they're linked together. Like, I'm not saying it was rocket science for me to put it together, but they're not exactly acknowledging it because it gets erased over time. They don't connect it. They connected it for what they wanted out of it. They wanted Jimmy Dore and Graham Elwood and the bigger names to catapult these people. Same with Russia Today. That's why they all go on each other's shows. They branched it out too far, though, with Burmis, with the InfoWars type of thing. Now with Jimmy Jean, I figured out that's Donkey Tail. I figured out a lot. I pretty much figured it all out. This is like an institutional thing. That's Handsome Truth. That was clipped out. I wasn't expecting that to be there, but I'm really pretty much done making videos. I feel I've done enough. Like, I quit writing. I'm not really writing. I stopped writing. Got into making these films. Then I got into music. The singing thing. I nailed the singing. I've accomplished with the singing. I'm pretty much kicking back now. Got no expectations here. Ryan Dawson. Who was plugged? De Niro. Oh, so that's Lee Camp's son. I think he's going by Leftward Bound or something, but he's a non-coward about it. Now you're probably asking, well, how do you know that's Lee Camp's son? Well, it's called the coincidence theory. What's he doing getting plugged by Fiorella? This from like, I think a year and 4 months back, so 16 months back. Just look at him. And then here, what did she put her face through a filter or something? That's not how she looks. And I'm kind of lazy, or else I could line up the other one with her. But how does someone change their face that much? That's all from makeup? I think she's got some type of, those are real eyes. I don't know, I'm just curious right now, because that looks nothing like what she looks like on the show, and she was talking baby talk doing that one. That's from a couple days ago. So yeah, this is about 4 minutes 54 seconds or whatever. Just not, I'm mailing it in. That's so bad of anyone who would give the middle finger that consistently. When Fiorella goes to scratch your face, she's always giving the middle finger. Her face has changed. The similarity, I think what happens is that the drugs or alcohol, all this stuff, they have a certain effect, a specific effect on changing the way the face looks. So I'm starting to see that Fiorella is approaching. I think she already passed the tipping point. Shaking, she's shaking. That's called involuntary body tremors. Jardula has that pretty bad. It's funny, I got a strike a few months back because I was really mad at the person on the left. They had anti-Semitic stuff. They ended up deleting it, so I was vindicated on that. Having a nighttime coffee. I do this live stream thing because that way there's no editing. That coffee's good. Proud of myself figuring out singing. So I know that most of my stuff now, the last months, it's all pretty much music. There's not so much anymore on the cyber sleuth and stuff. I give up. I tried it. I went through the system. It's all rigged. There's no media to cover the media. There's no one who's going to point out that RT is corrupt unless it fits into some acceptable narrative node. I should probably put up, there's one more segment coming up. Maybe I'll track down some screenshots. The one from Eglin Air Force Base, it pretty much explains what is going on with internet. So someone like this Fiorella, she's called an influencer node, and they pick up a lot of information, or they think they do, from who would visit the convo couch. It's only a few thousand people. These things add up over time. So anyone who would visit Helen Buyinski and her husband, or I don't know who that is, if that's a boyfriend, they're together a lot. He's nasty over in BitChute. He's telling people to kill themselves. He's got some crazy stuff going on over there. There's Lee Camp's son. How could it not be? It's the same facial expressions. Same nose, same face. And there he is on with Fiorella. But he doesn't use his real name. How is that not Lee Camp's son? I looked it up. Lee Camp is 41. This guy right here looked like he was 20. Even if he was 25, Lee Camp could have had him when he was 16. Fiorella with that really weird looking, like, what's going on with that? If anyone knows, please leave a comment. What did I want to do? Oh yeah, for the last segment, I'll put up some screenshots. The Eglin Air Force Base. I'll put up maybe some of those Snowden documents. I'll just run through them. So here we go. Eglin, says Eglin right at the top. So it turned out that the second biggest city, small town city, participating at Reddit is an Air Force base. So that came out. People noticed it. I found this paper. Someone found it. There weren't many people trying to point this out, but there you have it. It's a containment control. You can go back on those. I came up with some names involved. I was on Twitter. Warren Dixon. So that guy's name was on that thing. It's pretty weird stuff. Containment, social containment, it said. This is here it was, the global Reddit meetup. And they shared some stats. Turned out to be Eglin Air Force Base. Totally mailing this in, but it's live. I'm not editing. Right there, most addicted city, over 100K visits. Eglin Air Force Base. So most addicted small city, is that what they're saying? Containment control for a social network with state-dependent connectivity. Some of those names there. This is an important Reuters article. People should find it and read it. It's about that parallel construction, that thing, 2013. What's this? Oh yeah, so the moderator, Axolotl Piotr, this guy was like pro-Hitler. He was running the conspiracy forum. I ended up getting banned. It wasn't that big a place until they pumped it up the last year or two. Now it's a complete joke. It's like a BitChute. Adolf Hitler, the greatest story never told. So that forum is a waste of time. So I got banned from that. That was a couple years ago or something. I forget when. You've been banned. It's like, why would I care? F off. But they'll still include you in the stats unless you... They ban you, but they still want your subscription number. This is Snowden documents. This is how nutty it is. Influence, magic. You want to build cyber magicians. There's a sheet, I think I forgot to include it. They even mentioned conspiracy stories. So I was vindicated. The conspiracy is conspiracy. They have all these sheets they give to the JTRIG, to the GCHQ, to the Five Eyes. That's an interesting chart right there. Simulate actions and outcomes. People make decisions as part of groups. So they're gaming us. We're getting gamed by governments, by the militaries. They're into mirroring us, mimicking us. Question, can I game this? It's called COINTELPRO. It's called infiltration. It's called fake independent media. Just everything fake. Fake, fake, fake. So instead of it being that the Democrats got busted cheating for Hillary in collusion with the media, which is Orwellian, instead of that being the story, it got twisted into right versus left, Trump versus Biden. This is a true story right here. This video, this live stream here is about to wrap up. There's about a half minute left. That's a true screenshot right there. It's the last one. They're called Advantage Consultants, and they would help you get ahead. They'll do military. They'll do what you want. Politicians, military, whatever your talking points are, they would spam it. But I think they dissolved after they were exposed. That was the atmosphere. Snowden saw stuff like that, and he said, F this. It's time to let it out, to spill beans.